I swear I just saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, probably Marth in terms of like the things that like Marth is probably the matchup where I feel like when I win it's because I'm playing like amazing and it's just like me in my best state, and then as soon as I leave that state I'm just getting smashed like game after game.
Sure, I think Marth's a good one because you can really have like a pretty concrete plan versus Marth.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized why my mouse isn't showing. It's because it's Dolphin. So it's disabling it on the Dolphin end. Okay. So this is a general thing versus every character. A good default to go into. Sorry, let me just think how I want to structure this. So a good default versus every character, but especially Marth, is to just laser at the beginning. And a lot of Falco's strategy revolves around lasers, which maybe you already like intuitively understood, but because you have a projectile like a laser, and it's so it interferes so much with their gameplay, you can really dictate the pace of the game, and you can think of every laser as like presenting no mix-ups. So like if you shoot this laser here, Marth has to deal with it somehow, and that can sort of give you a good grasp of like, if you feel like you're kind of lost in your gameplay, you can always fall back on lasers as a way to like establish a mix-up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's sort of like your starting point in most matchups. So when you're playing Marth, you'll be lasering like this, and Marth's biggest weakness is he can't like move forward through those lasers very easily. So a lot of Marths will like go for power shields maybe, and they'll like try and wave dash through. And you can punish that forward movement. So you're lasering, and then he tries to move forward, and you down air him. Or the other way it might happen is you laser him, and he retreats, because a lot of Falcos will do this, right? You probably do it yourself, where you do laser into immediate aerial. So a lot of Marths are defensively like they'll take the laser and wave dash back and try to grab you, or they'll take the laser, they'll get hit by the laser and dash back. Or they'll get hit by the laser or shield it and then do an aerial out of shield. So Marth will do like near out of shield, and then you'll run into that. So you can use lasers, let them give up the space or do their attack in place because he's not moving forward. And as he pushes further and further back, like once he starts to get to this space, he doesn't have any more room to retreat. And that's when you can really capitalize. You can either go in, or at a higher level, you can just keep lasering and control this space. Because he has to come out eventually, or else he's just going to sit there and eat lasers.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
And then when he does come out, I basically just use that as an opportunity to aerial or something.
Yeah, you can do aerials in place. You can do up tilt. You can also give up space. So maybe you think he's going to do something like a dash attack out of the corner. Marths like to do dash attack, right? So you can just sort of like dash back, and you see him with, and then you dash back in. So that's another thing is like if you're lasering here where you're like a little closer, maybe the Marth goes for a forward air. You can see how like his forward air is like just within range if he jumps forward. So you can do a laser, dash back to get out of his range, and then dash back in to whiff punish the fair.
Okay.
So are you familiar with fighting game fundamentals at all? Like, have you played other fighting games?
I mean, I've played Smash at different phases of my life.
Okay.
A lot of time at different games of Smash.
So there's a thing in traditional fighters called footsies, which you may have heard of, but it's generally the idea that like in other fighting games you don't jump as much. So there's this idea of like you walk forward and hit him, right? Like let's say you just wanted to hit an F tilt, and Marth can retreat and then punish the F tilt if you whiff. But if you call out that bluff, you can just keep walking him all the way into the corner. And that's how other fighting games work. And the concept works the same in this game, but it's more like active movement because you can move so quickly, right? And you also have platforms, so there's like another dimension of movement. But the idea is still the same of like you want to choke out their space so they have less options. because when they're in the corner, they have way less options, and if you hit them in the corner, they're getting sent off stage, so it's a better reward for you. Whereas if you hit someone in center stage, it might not matter that much. So for every interaction where you're engaging with the opponent, you want to consider, I try to consider like what is the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. So the best case scenario when Marth is in the corner, so if he's in the corner, the best case scenario for approaching is like you get a dare shine and maybe he like DIs up in a way. Like he might get sent up here and you can't really follow up. So that's why attacking into the corner against Marth is generally not worth it, because you can't get that good of an approach. But if he's higher percent, maybe it is. So that kind of stuff can really depend on what you're doing.
Okay.
And let's see, what else can we go over? So you've got lasers, you're doing laser control. Let me think. So the other option that might come up is if they shield the lasers and they're shielding a lot, you can use that as a cue to grab. And then, do you feel like you have a good punish game for Marth? You said you felt like when you were playing really well versus him, you do okay?
Yeah. But when I'm playing like really, really well, I can combo Marth like pretty well.
Okay, so like
yeah.
A general idea with punish game is you have to think that like the way you win neutral is also going to affect how your punish game is structured. So like if you're doing that thing I talked about before where you're lasering Marth and then he goes for forward air and you dash dance and with punish with a nair and you nair him out of the air, that leads into like a shine or an up tilt. So that's going to be a really juicy punish. If you dare Marth out of the air at low percents, he's just going to land and be able to shield. So the general idea versus most characters is to nair them if you think they're going to jump, and down air them if you think they're going to stay grounded. And that's because when you down air grounded opponents, they can't crouch cancel, or they can't ASDI down. They can still crouch cancel, but pretty much down air will usually lead into shine. And
okay.
then, and the reason you need to understand the distinction between those two is because in order to get the shine, which is like shine and up tilt are going to be your best launchers. So you want to be launching him, and then doing the pillar combos where you shine, double jump, and down air, and then just repeat that. And then another concept, once you initiate the punish, so we have like at the beginning you're doing neutral. So your goal is to win neutral, and then if you win neutral, you do your punish, and then after you build up some damage, you are gonna transition into edge guards. So you're gonna be comboing Marth, you're comboing him all over stage, right? And then at some point he's gonna like DI off stage to get out of your combo. Because if he just stays on stage and just keeps DIing in, you're just gonna keep comboing him. So most Marths will DI off stage to get out of the combo, and you won't be able to reach him necessarily. So at that point you want to turn around and do more back airs. So and you can use the ledge hop back air, and you can use all these different threats. So like if Marth is right here and he's like drifting back to the stage, he doesn't know when you're going to jump up and back air him. That's like your threat. And it's basically a game of chicken where he has to guess when you're going to do this and time the attack perfectly. And if he's wrong, then you can just hit him after. Like you can just see that he missed and just jump up and back air him. Does that all make sense so far? How like that's the general structure of the matchup?
Yeah. So just to restate it, it's like
sure.
Like spam laser, right?
Yep.
Try to work into either a dare on the ground or a nair if the Marth is jumping up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
Then pillar combo, right? So just assume they're going to DI in or neutral or not DI, and basically try to go for like pillar combos. So shine to dare, to shine to dare, or like instead of shines you could use I guess up tilts.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you can do that properly, like, which I feel like will probably take some doing for me, but if I could get to the point where I could do that properly, then it'll be, they'll have to DI off the stage, and at that point you're basically playing a game of chicken with bears.
Yeah, exactly.
With double jump bears.
So the only clarification I would add, that was a great summary. The only clarification I would add is that you can actually react to their DI. You don't have to like guess if they're DIing up or not. So let me just show a bit. This is like my favorite way of practicing punishes. I'll just go into Uncle Punch. For Spaceys, you can start at 0. For Marth, you might want to start at like, oops. So you can do stuff like that.
I see. So when you land a shine on Marth, are you generally just immediately double jumping, or are you wave shining forward?
So I always wave shine towards them, or like almost always. So as a rule of thumb, you can just say always wave shine towards them. And the reason for that is Falco Shine sends. Let me see. You can't see my mouse, can you? That's annoying.
I can't not see it.
Let me see if I can trick it. Okay, well, maybe there's a way to turn it on. I think that's only. Oh, here it is. DI draw. Perfect.
Training mode.
We'll use FD. So you can see. Oh wow. What is going on? So this is the default angle for no DI. I don't know why it's disappearing. Okay, there we go. So that's the default angle Marth is being sent at. And he can DI to the right, so he can DI over here. But if he holds in, he's not going to go as far as he would if he goes to the right. Does that make sense why?
Yeah.
That's just like how the DI system works, where you want to DI perpendicular to this default trajectory to get the most influence. But for moves that are like close to the cardinals, you can only really do left or right. So like even though this doesn't go quite straight up, left and right are the ones that influence the most. Okay. So the general point being, if he DIs away, I guess combo DI. If he does combo DI, you can see he goes quite far. And you can, at 30 you can barely even get to it. And then if he DIs in, you can see he doesn't go nearly as far to the left as he did to the right. So even if I wave shine to the right, I can still reach him. So that's a good way to practice. You can just even set it up on this survival DI, and you can practice DIing, or you can practice wave shining towards him, and then still getting it in time. So you can see I'm like wave shining the wrong way and still making it to him.
Okay, so when you are pillow comboing with Falco, are you generally trying to go for the strong hit or the weak hit?
It can depend on the percent. So at higher percents, at the low percents, what you want to do, there's this idea of like using all of your hit stun. So here, let me do DIY because it's easier to demonstrate on that. So let me think how to show it. So when Marth is up here, he's like near the peak of his jump. You want to down air and then get to the ground before him so you can shine again, right? That's your ultimate goal when you do the down air. So in order to do that, you want to time the down air as late as possible so that he's in stun for as long as possible. So like the idea is, if I just did this shine and then do a rising dare, you can see I'm above him, and then he's out of stun before he even lands, right?
Right.
So if I shine and then delay it slightly, so I did a double jump and I'm like kind of delaying, that means I'm using all of the stun from the shine instead of interrupting the shine. Because you don't want to interrupt the shine stun when you should be using that time to start your descent.
Right.
So it's kind of like using all of the hit stun you can before they escape. So you'll down air right before they escape the shine stun, and then same as the shine, when you down air, you want to shine right before he lands. So there's an idea of like using all of the shield, all of the stun that you can, and the same thing can apply to like horizontal combos. So if you do like, it's not going to work on Marth. This isn't like a huge thing with Falco, but it can sometimes come up. So like, let's say you down air. Let me see. So you want to do the down air to Marth, right? So if you wanted to do that, you can see like he's in stun until he air dodges here. So that entire time he's in stun. If you down air him, oh well, too close. So if you down air him here, sorry, he's not the onion. Wow. Okay, so he landed on the stage there, and that's because I did dare into immediate dare. Like I'm not letting the hit stun breathe at all. Whereas if I do the same down air and then delay it, you can see now he goes off stage. Right, and that's just because I'm using all of the hit stun from the first down air.
Right.
So this is a concept that comes up a lot with Shine, because you need to you want to be descending before you down air. That's like the main idea for pillar combos. And you mentioned strong and weak dare. So like you can do at these higher percents. So for the lower percents, you want to do the strong dare almost all the time, because you're trying to make sure he has enough stun to get to the ground. Right? You usually can get the down air. If you get the strong down air at the peak of your double jump and you're fast falling, you'll still be able to land and shine him before. But when he starts to get up to like 110, you can see like it starts to become too hard. So you'd want to do the weak down air at these percents. Oops. See, that one was strong. So you can see he went down slower. I mean, this is kind of like weird DI. No one goes straight up, because they would just die off the top. But let's see. Yeah, like no one's gonna DI like that. But you get the idea.
Right. Cool.
Let's see. Were there any other things that came up against Marth? I mean, we mostly are talking about neutral and then offense. Did you have any issues with like defensive stuff?
You know, I feel like I've learned a lot of defense just because I get trashed so much.
Right.
So I feel like, I don't know, it's hard for me to articulate what I do, but I feel like I am reasonable about like, I feel like I'm decent at making it difficult to finish me off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the reason I didn't go into that too much is honestly because Marth is he just has a really strong punish against Falco. Yeah. So when you start playing the better Marth, there really isn't a whole lot you can do. Even if you watch the absolute best Falcos, they sometimes just get hit by Marth and die, and that's just like the nature of Falco sometimes. Yeah. So you definitely don't want to just like have no defense at all, because you can make it really hard for them. But in general, there's not a whole lot you can do. So if you find yourself getting comboed a bunch, don't sweat it too much.
Yeah, generally with Marth, if I'm getting comboed, my strategy is to just like get to the ledge and then mix the Marth up so that I can reset neutral.
Yeah, like, so we can go over some recovery stuff. One thing that's helpful to know is like if you up B here, if you do it at this height, you want to do it at this height because you can see if Marth down tilts, you would go over it. So you've probably had Marth set down tilt at the ledge. Let me just open up 20xx and I can set it up real quick.
Yeah, and then I do have questions as well, just about like generally like kill options. I think because I find
sure.
myself in a lot of situations where I will just be able to like effectively like win neutral like a decent amount, and like I will be able to get my opponent's like damage up to like 130 or 150 or something, and then just have the hardest time finishing them off.
Right.
And so like I feel like there are just basic kill options that I'm not doing that I should just be like relying on more. Like when you get an opponent into hyperset.
Yeah, it's honestly mostly transitioning into that edge guard I was talking about before.
Yeah.
But there are a few things you can do. One sec.
Okay. Yeah, the edge guard. Yeah, that just getting them to the edge seems to be like the most effective and the general thing that I should be going for. I definitely don't do the double jump there at all.
Okay, yeah. That's
I
like your
never do
main
that.
way. You're kind of, they call it sharking. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how familiar you are with melee terms, but they call it sharking when someone's above you and like you're looking for these hits. Like Marth in particular does it against you,
Yeah.
right? Where he's just
Yeah.
up airing when you're above him. When
Yeah.
you're above him. And you're like, how do I get down? So you kind of do the same thing with Marth, but it's kind of a horizontal sharking where like he
Yeah.
needs to get back to the stage and you have a great double jump and a full hop.
Yeah.
Like you rise up so quickly, he can't possibly react to it.
Yeah, I always kind of like default just like grab ledge and try to do things from there, but like definitely like if somebody's approaching high, I just let them in way too much.
Yeah.
That's my problem. So
Okay, so I just want to show the recovery for a bit. So you have that.
so I don't see anything on your screen right
Oh,
now,
you can't
just so
see
you
the
know.
20XX?
No, all I see is your logo.
Huh. Let me just restart it. Do you see it now?
Nope,
Really?
nothing.
That's annoying.
Computers are dumb.
I don't know that I've ever tried it with 20XX before.
Survival.
Does Uncle Punch have like a new recording feature now?
I don't have the new one actually.
I don't.
Yeah, I've gotten so used to using 20XX that I just use that for the recording stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the Uncle Punch one does look good.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was going to be kind of. I thought they were going to I feel like it was kind of being sold as this thing where it's like, oh, you could just download like a recording and like use it, and it's so easy. But then like it came out, and I
Yeah, there's like
went
no
on Patreon
recordings.
and I got it. And, yeah, there's no recordings because
That's-
it's such a pain in the ass, A, to make them, and then B, to like use them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's why I
Yeah.
just use 20. I was gonna.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, and then they said like the recordings like wouldn't persist between new versions, and it's still like beta.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna stick with 20XX for now. Can you see
Yeah.
it now, or is it still no?
Nope.
Okay, it must be a 20XX issue. That's fine. I'll just use Uncle
Yeah.
Punch. Or we can honestly even look up some YouTube videos of Falcos,
Okay.
and because you'll see a lot of these concepts come up.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Let's see. Okay, can you see that?
No.
Really? It's a Discord issue, I guess. How is that possible that you could see Dolphin and not this?
Are there like multiple screens you can share? Like that you need to choose one?
I mean, I'm just sharing the actual. I can just share my screen. Maybe that'll work. Do you see that?
Still only see your logo.
Can you try like refreshing or something? I'm not sure what you can really do in Discord to refresh, but it shows that it's streaming on my end.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
what if you like undo and then redo?
Okay, let me just leave the call entirely, and I'll call you back in a sec. How's that? Anything?
Still don't see anything.
Okay.
What if we just like went on like a direct connect on
Oh
Slippy
yeah,
and,
sure. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Alright, cool.
Let's see.
Alright.
Just before we do that, can you see this one?
Nope.
Really?
No, sure,
Okay,
no.
so something messed up because
Oh, okay, now I see something. Interesting.
did you have to like click off of it or something?
Well, I clicked your logo, and like now all of a sudden I can see 3 screens. One being mine, one being yours, and then one being like thing you were sharing.
Okay, well let's get back to the YouTube videos then.
Okay.
I'm down to play at the end though. We can like try. I'll let you try some things versus my Marth.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so you can see now if you click on it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think this was the good set.
All right. This is a hand warm.
Okay. Okay, so you see Mango lasering, and you can see like, so these are probably going to seem like high-level concepts, but if you just understand the basics of them, I think it'll still be helpful. So you can see, can you see my cursor now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see he shot the laser until until Zane went onto the side plat, and that's because Zane understands like fighting through these lasers is too hard. So you can see this is sort of that level 1 neutral option I was talking about, where like just right at the get-go start lasering, force Marth to either go above it or fight his way through them. And then because Mango knows he's going above, he reacts to this and then jumps up and nairs him. So that's just like free percent basically. And then he comes back down with another laser. This one was too low, so Zane jumped over it. Can I make this better quality? And then, so like nothing came of this one, but you can see this is the same idea. So like all the concepts just coming up right away. So he does this shine, and you can see he's up here. He's already up here and within range, but he hasn't back aired yet. That's because he's extending it as long as possible to send Zane off as far as possible. Does that make sense? That's the letting the hit stun breathe concept.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he knocks him off, what does he do? He turns around. He's looking for the back air already.
Yeah.
He's just in back air mode. He's jumping out here. Even when he's not going to hit it, he's at least threatening it so Zane can't just double jump back for free. So that's
Seems
one
like
thing.
That would be hard because if you like fast fall and then like I guess you could jump with your stick and then like use your
Yeah, that's how I do it. I
Yeah,
tap
okay,
jump
yeah.
and then C stick to
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because if you're DIing, that makes the most sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You do need to be careful though, because you don't want to get clipped by Marth here. Like you notice Mango's outside of side B or fair range. At least hopefully he does. If he pulls a Mango and gets hit, then oh well.
Yeah, I've had a lot of traumatic experiences where I just get side B'd
Yeah.
off the edge. Yeah. Where I have like 0 damage and they're about to die. And
Yeah, and this is another thing. If they're like double jumping near the ledge, you can do a get up here, and it sort of protects the ledge while also protecting you because you're invincible during the beginning of this get up. So like Marth can't fare. Oh, I hate YouTube. It's so bad at frame advancing. So all this time he's like protected, and then he does this, and he's still invincible. And then you do like the regular get up and down smash. That's like the general flow chart. Boom. So first stock was perfect. Perfect explanation of everything we just went over. So,
Yeah.
And then another concept to keep in mind. So versus every character, you should have a strategy when you're coming down with invulnerability and when they're coming down with invul. So you can see Marth is coming down, and this is something a lot of people overlook, especially new players. They don't really think about it. They kind of just run away. But if you have an actual strategy versus them coming down, it'll make it way easier to survive. So you can see Mango has the stock lead, but if Marth comes down and just kills him right away every time he respawns, then these stock leads are really hard to hold. Whereas, so this is like a very big make or break situation, and it only comes up 3 times per game, right? Because they're only going to respawn 3 times. So you can see Marth comes down and he's looking for the fair. He's expecting Mango to like dash this way. So Mango's just dash dancing, and he's doing it in an unpredictable way. And then he does run up shield in case he attacks. So this is a pretty high level strategy. But I just want you thinking of the general idea of like having a game plan when people are respawning. You don't want to just be running around doing tech skill. Does that make sense?
My strategy has generally been to try to jump over them.
Okay.
What I sort of default towards, but like there's definitely something to be said about like probably dash dancing more, and then like trying to dash in one direction or wave dash in another or something.
Yeah, I mean full hop's definitely a good default because Falco's jump is so good. I generally wouldn't recommend double jumping, but you don't really need to with Falco. You can just full hop. Some Falcos, you'll see them full hop in the corner and then side B ledge cancel. I don't know how difficult that would be for your current level, but that's something to consider. Even just like dash dancing in the corner and then dash full hopping to the top plat at the right timing, it's like a lot about timing. Because if they read that, they could hit you. But for them to read that means they're attacking preemptively. They're not going to cut you off on reaction. Oh, and you see Mango literally did that right as we talked about it, right? So he does his dash dance in the corner and then does the dash full hop out of the corner. Because he knows, and you can see Zane tried to hit it. Like, he knows that's an option, but for him to time that F smash is really hard.
Yeah.
And then boom, right back to the lasers. So laser into laser approach, and boom, again, Marth is going up onto the side plat to get over these lasers. He doesn't want to get trapped in the corner by the lasers. That's like the risky scenario we set up in the first place.
Yeah.
And then once again, Mango reads him coming off the platform. So he does the laser, sees him going up and says, I'm just going to stuff you coming off the side plat. And then So if you had like a read of like a Marth going fair off of a side platform, generally like it's like move forward and then throw out an aerial. It seems to be like the strategy that he's going for. So there are 2 different approaches really. The one is to like get in this space, maybe even underneath, and anti-air him or like poke from below. That's what Mango chose here. But another option is it depends on the spacing. If you're too far away, so if we go back and see when Mango decided to do that, he did laser. He's already center stage, so it's easier for him to dash forward and then protect this space than it is to dash away. Because if Falco dashes away, maybe Marth like clips him with the fair. But the other option is for Falco. Let's say Falco is right here. You wouldn't want to try and get under Marth here because you're probably going to get hit by the fair. So it's all about this spacing. You have to be very aware of how far away you are and how long it will take to close that distance. So this is called off-center. I don't know if you watch much of Ginger's content.
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Yeah, so he talks about this concept a lot. You want to be off-center. And the idea is like if you're dead center, then Marth just runs off and fairs you. And it's really hard to contest that. If you're off-center, Marth can run off and fair, or you can even short hop off and fair. So like you might have to retreat all the way back to here, but you know when he's landing. It's at like a predictable timing. Like he could double jump, I guess, but the double jump is bad. So, and you would just react to that. So the idea is just space around Marth dropping down this drop zone area, and you could punish him after as well. So those are your two options: just stuffing him directly, or whiff punishing his miss.
Okay.
And that goes back to the Street Fighter fundamentals I talked about, or like fighting game fundamentals. Those are the two ways that you play footsies. You either stuff them moving forward, or you retreat and whiff punish. That's generally how you're going to play. And like even if you don't true whiff punish them, like maybe you just retreat and laser Marth as he lands, at least you have laser control and you have him in a bad situation. Like you have some semblance of control at least. And you can see like once Mango gets in Marth's space, like Marth's strength is his range, right? He likes to be really far away. He's not comfortable in this space where Falco's like up close shielding, or if Falco gets behind him, he's really weak from behind. So these are the areas where you really want to go ham on him. You want to say, okay, now I need to make this count. So that's why you're going to see Mango like throw out hitboxes. So I think he does Wave Shine here. So he does Shine, and then he's trying to prevent Marth from retreating. So he does the Wave
So I
Shine.
have actually a question about that specific situation too. So
Sure.
like if your back is to Marth, right?
Yeah.
And Marth is shielding, and you have just gotten a Shine out. Like your options are, as I see them, like Shine, and then like what? Like you could bear out of the Shine.
Yeah, I can just break down all the options for you.
Yeah.
So let's.
Like it seems like you can Shine, Wave Shine back, and then Shine again.
Yeah, so Marth is a weird one because let me get the Shine frame just so it's clear. Okay, so this is the situation. A weird thing about Marth is his grab goes really far out, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And so like versus most characters, if you Shine here, you can wave dash away and be safe. Marth will actually be able to grab that. It's harder when you're facing away from him. You'll usually get away.
Yeah.
But like if you're facing Marth,
yeah.
you'll usually get caught wave shining away.
Yeah.
If they time it right.
Okay.
So what you actually should do instead versus Marth is wave shine through him, which is what Mango does. And that's because even if you're like inside of Marth when he grabs, his grab is so far out here, it's like it doesn't hit you if you're inside him or like on top of him.
Okay.
It won't reach. So that's why Mango does the wave shine through versus Marth. If this were a Sheik or a Jigglypuff or something, you would want to wave shine away.
Okay.
So your main options when you shine someone's shield are wave shine away and shine grab. And then occasionally you can do shine into aerial, but shine into aerial has become worse over the years because people are just like better at handling it. Marth is like one of the better characters because you can shield poke him a lot sometimes. So if Marth had a really low shield and maybe he was higher percent, maybe Mango would do like shine into a bear and then fade it away to be extra safe. But generally you don't want to do shine into aerial and fade away because you're just giving up your shield pressure opportunity. You're much better off going for shine grab or wave shine and just pressuring and chasing one of these rolls. Because that's what Mango's like thinking about is like, what you have to think, what is Marth trying to do to escape? So he's probably going to wave dash back or roll either direction, or he's going to do an attack at a shield or a grab. So those are like his main options.
Well, when you wave shine away, like, aren't you kind of giving up, like, I don't know, your pressure because you're farther away?
You mean versus other characters?
Just like any character, yeah.
Yeah. So you are giving it up versus some options, but the idea is like you're never going to be able to cover every option, of course.
Yeah.
So the idea is like you do this shine, and let's say you do wave shine away, even versus Marth, and it works. Yeah. Like maybe he shield grabbed, right? Because he's trying to grab this. Maybe he does fair out of shield because he's trying to get Falco off of him, or down air out of shield. So I guess Marth isn't a good example because like he doesn't really worry about that. He would just grab you. If let's say it's Sheik. Sheik is another common one. She does nair out of shield. Do you get hit by a Sheik nair out of shield pretty often?
Probably.
Or like, is there an option that someone hits you with that you're like, this is so annoying?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like the reason why I'm still playing now is probably because I don't get as annoyed when I get destroyed. So.
Well, I guess you don't necessarily have to get annoyed, but like, is there an out of shield option that you feel catches you a lot, or like, what happens when you shine people's shield?
So generally, I'm either kind of trying to like shine and then hit, like generally it's like shine, dare, fade back away, like fade away.
Right.
Or I'll shine and then wave shine away, and I just do those two reflexively. And
right.
Generally, that's pretty safe, so I actually don't run into much issues.
Yeah, so I believe you when you say they're safe, but I would also say, how often are you getting openings off those? And it's probably not very often.
Not very often. No. Yeah.
Right.
So my shield pressure is like not great.
Yeah. So that's why I would say the wave shine away, that works for like the grab. And for like attack, like if you're playing a fox, maybe he goes for shine out of shield. So the idea of wave shine away is you wave shine away, and then punish their out of shield option. But if you're always doing these retreating options, if you do those every time, which it sounds like those are your the two moves in your arsenal are retreating options. You have wave shine away and the fading aerial. So your opponent's always just going to wait and shield and then retreat. They're not going to do the attacks out of shield. And the way to force them to do more attacks out of shield is to do this wave shine through or shine grab. Like if you're shine grabbing a fox, they're going to start doing shine out of shield. That's like a simple example. But shine grab is really powerful in general. That's why I like that.
So I do shine grab a little bit. I really need to do more. And it just sounds like that's probably the next step for me to work. You know, the next thing for me to really try to work more is like shine grab.
Yeah. Shine grab. I mean, this is like an RPS situation that'll never be set in stone. You're always going to have to adapt to like what your opponent's doing. Because even if you have two equally skilled players, one is going to really favor just holding shield, and they'll just hold it forever. And then another will favor really good shines out of shield or something.
Yeah.
So it's going to constantly change.
I almost mean it more for me, just because I have this tendency to like not think and just do the reflexive option that like my muscle memory does. So I feel like I need like the muscle memory for shine grab a little.
Yeah, well, I think it's okay to have like wave shine away as your default. I like to think of options as having defaults. So like when you go into a game, you know, okay, I'm going to shine a shield and then wave shine away. But then you also want to be paying attention when you do your default. So like the idea is like you say it's like reflexive, which is actually good because that means you have brain power freed up to like focus on what's actually happening, right?
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how I think of it. It's like, okay, well, this is my default. I don't have to think about wave shine away. I have to think about what is he doing when I wave shine away. And then if I notice he's holding shield the first 2 or 3 times I do wave shine away, well then I have to use a little brain power to like change that default into a shine grab, right?
Yeah.
So that's one way you can think of it that might help you adapt in game.
Right.
The other option is something that's really important for improvement is to spam options and not really worry so much about whether you're going to win the game or not, but just go into the game with the goal of learning a mix-up. So kind of how you're saying you don't really do shine grab much. Try going into an unranked game and literally shine grab every time and just see what happens. And sure, like let's say worst case scenario, it fails like 90% of the time. Well, what have you learned? You've learned the 10% of the time that it does work. So now you know, in these sorts of scenarios, they're likely to get hit by shine grabs.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've done that in a few games, and the biggest thing that I'll notice is like when I'm not spacing them correctly. So like the shine won't hit their shield, and then they'll grab me.
Right.
Because, that happens to me probably more than anything else.
Yeah. So if you see a situation like that, maybe it's a matter of you need to like take it back one step and say, okay, how am I spacing my aerials or my shines on the shield? Which can be hard. It can definitely be hard, especially if they like power shield. That's annoying for me when I do a shuffle and they power shield and slide away.
Yeah.
So those are just some ideas to think about when you're doing shield pressures.
Cool.
Does everything feel like cohesive so far? It should kind of feel like it's all linked together.
Yeah, definitely.
But also kind of segmented. So, like, there's segmented stuff you can practice, but it should all really feel like it makes sense together.
Yeah, I mean, this just really wants me to find a Marth and play like 1,000 games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down to play a few games.
Yeah, I think that'd be great just to help me like solidify something.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff, it's hard to... I mean, I know you said you play a lot of unranked, and I saw you were in the new player Discord. If you can find a Marth in the new player Discord and like ask them to practice these things with you, that's honestly the best way to practice them. I mean, you can set it up in 20XX too, or Uncle Punch if you have that. You have the new one. I know it can be annoying, but like you can set up simple stuff like... Actually, in Uncle Punch, you could probably just set it to shield grab, right? So set it up to shield grab and practice your wave shine through. That's a very simple one you can do. And it'll feel like you're not really practicing. Like maybe it feels easy, but you'll be surprised how even like just 5 minutes of practicing that, that'll really show up when you go into unranked. It'll feel way more comfortable to you. Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's that repetition. It's just so helpful to just repeat things. And you see...
That was definitely how I got like the wave shine back.
Right.
Was by just practicing that a bunch, and then it just became like my default.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just practice like the shine grab a bunch, it'll feel like you have both in your arsenal.
Yeah.
So just continuing here, we see this is the pillar combo we talked about, right? And then he gets him on the plat. I think he just barely missed that up tilt. So even when he whiffed the up tilt, you can see like his mindset is still hitting Marth off stage. So he goes for a nair here. He's down to trade, and then like he sort of goes into back air mode, right? So again, he's just focused on pushing Marth off stage, even at 30. Like you might think, oh, Marth's not at a high enough percent to start edge guarding, but Marth and Sheik are both pretty weak in the corner and like when they're recovering. So you can actually rack up a lot of damage when they're recovering. Yeah. And I compare Marth to Sheik a lot because I think they're just similar in a lot of ways. So hopefully that helps you with both matchups. So you can see he goes back air. Again, not hitting, but like that's his idea, is to go for these back airs.
Yeah.
Boom.
Could you rewind that sequence? Just play it one more time.
I can slow it down.
Think about where he was when he went for the back airs.
The first one was like a crazy shield drop one.
Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the other one is like more traditional where you're short hopping over and back airing.
But
you can see like...
Okay.
So yeah, he's actually, this is high level where like Zane's expecting the laser, and we have already seen him go to the platform a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Actually, literally every time he's been lasered in the corner, he's just gone straight to platform. So what Mango did was read that preemptively, and then use that to get a back air.
So he like wave landed. Oh, can I ask you a random question?
Of course.
So something that I see all the time that I've never been able to figure out how to do like well is like when you jump up as Falco and then like shine someone who's on a platform and then like wave land onto the platform and just do it like really fast.
Yeah, sure.
Like, yeah, I don't know how to do that, and I keep trying, and I just can never do it. I can never like wave land. I can never press R fast enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll show you that when we play. That's kind of something I have to show you in game, but I wrote it in my notes to show you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, platforms.
So you could see like in this situation, Zane's either expecting an aerial or a laser. So and Mango knows he's expecting that. So that's just a high level read. I wouldn't recommend this for most Marths. But the second one makes more sense, where like he's just preventing him from landing. And he's down to trade because it's sending Marth off. So you can see he's only at 58 and he's already like edge guarding.
But that's a great option, like I'm just realizing you can do, is like jump off the platform onto the edge.
Yeah, the short hop off is pretty tricky.
Strong. Yeah, well, because, I mean, worst case scenario, you trade, right? So it just creates, like the only option that Marth has for that is down B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he like shields and he's stuck in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll just go through a bit more of this. and then try some stuff out on our own.
Cool.
So you can see the recovery is going to be rough because Zane is a god at edge guarding.
Yeah.
I play him a decent amount, and he just will never miss.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So again, so this is Mango's invul. So this is like the offensive end of what we talked about before.
Yeah.
So you're coming down with your respawn invul. What are you trying to do? You're generally trying to laser to lock them down. Same as like your regular neutral game. You want to lock them down with lasers and then push them to the corner. So he goes for a hit. He's just trying to get some damage, but Marth is really fast. So if they're good at using the platforms, it can be hard. The biggest thing to take away from this is when Mango's invul is about to run out, he doesn't go for another attack because that leaves you open to a counterattack. So this is a common trap people fall into. Maybe like you're used to your invul running out and then you get grabbed right away and you're like, damn, I was trying to attack him because I was invincible. So when you notice it start to run out, that's when you want to prioritize the lasers more. Like just say, okay, I'm not going to hit him with an attack, I'm just going to go for a laser control. So you can see, so he's still a little invincible, but he's using that time to laser. And boom, he'd rather be in this position, lasering Marth, than using the last frame of his invul trying to attack.
Did he just turn around and wave dash off the platform?
He did a B reverse. And
Okay.
maybe he pivoted by accident.
Okay. He did a B reverse, okay.
I think he might have pivoted. Let's see. Yeah, he actually pivoted. But what he was trying to do is the same idea. Like you dash off, and then you B reverse. That's what he was trying to do. I guarantee he didn't mean to pivot because that's not consistent.
Okay.
But yeah, you can practice that, dashing off the platforms and then turning around with the laser. It can be a little tricky, but it's really useful. Because you can see like a lot of Falcos when they're up here, what do they want to do? They want to drop down. And maybe they get shield grabbed in the corner. Maybe Marth anti-airs them with like an up tilt, but running off with this laser instead, boom,
So
you're cutting off his space.
Yeah.
So once again, we have Marth in the corner. What do you think he might do? Because we've seen this before. This one's a little different because he power shielded, but what do you think Marth might do in this situation?
When you run off the platform and do reverse while he's in the corner?
Yeah.
Or,
well, Zane specifically here, what do you think Zane might do?
Other than power shield.
Yeah, after this power shield.
Oh, after the power shield. I mean, I'm gonna assume he's gonna try to go forward, right, and take space.
Right. So I mean, I haven't seen. I mean, I saw this, but I don't remember any of it. So one option, I was kind of baiting you to say like he might go to platform, right? Because that's what we saw before. So he might do the jump out of shield, wave land off fair, because that's what he's done a couple times now, right? But I didn't expect him to get the power shield though. That does change things a bit. He might try to just wave dash forward. He might just wave dash in place and then fight neutral, because you can see like if you get the power shield, if Marth gets the power shield and then wave dashes in place, and Falco has to deal with this laser. So then it's like kind of a neutral situation.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't go over a whole lot was I sort of was taking for granted that you would be able to laser, but you do need to recognize situations where you're not able to laser. So like Marth could dash, like after this laser, if you get hit by this, you can't just laser again necessarily because Marth could dash attack, right?
I have a lot of situations that I run into when playing where like I think I have enough space to laser, and then like the Fox can run fast enough where they catch me while I'm on my way down, or something, or the Marth does a fair that's like ridiculously far away and I misjudged it.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot where I just misjudge the space.
Yeah, that's like the common pitfall for the laser, and that's why that's why I think a lot of Falcos that get the laser out, they just spam lasers because they're almost lasering out of fear that if they stop lasering, they'll get hit before they can do another one. Yeah. So you have to just keep in mind, like paying attention to your opponent is the main way around that. Like if you're paying attention to them power shielding, well, you know, like, okay, maybe he's going to go for a more aggressive option than he normally would.
Yeah.
And if they get hit by the laser and they look like they're off balance, well, instead of lasering again, take advantage of them being off balance and approach them, right?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of just pay attention to your opponent and make an educated guess on what to do. So let's see. Oh, I'm so smart.
Oh, nice.
I feel so happy.
Great.
I was like so worried because he got the power shield that he might not. But yeah, you can see like that's exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And you might think like, oh, it wasn't that good, but he did get center control. But I think Mango handled it perfectly. So if you do run into a Marth who likes a power shield, just keep in mind you don't need to shield. That's like the worst thing you can do is just shield out of habit. You want to be dashing. So you can see his mindset was still to laser again right away, but he dashed out of range of that dash attack.
Right.
Or that running F smash some Marths might do. So Zane does this and Mango's just countering it. He's got laser control back again, and now he's able to approach.
Right.
And boom, we have Marth in the corner. Oh, unfortunate. So this is why I like Shine Grab. Let's see what Mango does. So he's going for like a late aerial. So he didn't do it late enough. It's the problem. He probably was trying to shield poke Marth, but I don't think it's worth this. And I think Mango would agree. I think he would say I probably should have just Shine Grabbed him. So that's another reason I like Shine Grab. It's very reliable and very safe.
And I mean,
all these situations.
More basic, going with my like more kind of lower level strategy too. It just seems like get the Marth off the edge. Like that's the strategy. Get the Marth off the edge, right?
Yeah,
so.
Off the edge or even above you.
Yeah.
So like even if you were on the other side and you Shine Grabbed him here and he's going up here, that's still really good. You can Shark Marth and it's hard for him to get down.
Yeah.
But you can see like the idea of like getting him in the corner and he's trapped and now he's in shield. This all is like holding true in almost every interaction. And what do we see again? So like it almost seems like crazy that it's this repetitive, right? Like another thing to think about is like it's okay to give up space. So like you want center control, but if you're giving up space to laser, that's generally okay. And the reason for that is once you get this laser out, then it's easier to retake the stage back, and you're safe. Whereas if you're just fighting for it in center, it's kind of risky because you don't have the laser control. So look for that laser control. Look for opportunities to get lasers out. Boom, we see him go on top plat again, and you can see Mango doing the back air, trying to counter the shield drop. He's already doing it, and I don't like that he did it in the corner, but he might have had a read. So boom, poor Falco.
Yep.
So we'll just like go through the rest of this game pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then do some stuff. So you can see here, this is what I was talking about, the dare out of the air. Not this one. So he lasers Marth out of the air, and then because he down airs him, Marth can shield right away.
Yeah.
So if Mango had recognized sooner, he could have nared instead and gotten a better punish.
Right.
He grabs, he's pushing him off stage. He's keeping him in the corner. So it didn't quite react to that roll. What'd you say?
He wasn't being too aggressive to the Marth while they were on the edge, right?
Where? Right here?
Well, yeah, when he was like dash dancing in center while Marth was like right at the edge.
Oh, I think this is good, but like he just attacked at a time when Marth rolled.
Yeah.
Or like you can see he was already committed to this aerial before he realized Marth rolled. Maybe he could have reacted, but like obviously that's hard to do in game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Oh, I think that was an accident. I don't think he meant to fool up.
Oh.
Maybe he did. Maybe he was reading something. So this is another thing that comes up versus Marths. Probably be the last specific thing we touch on. Laser. If you laser Marth out of the air, if you're close and ready to react, you can usually nair him. But at certain spacings, he gets this fair out. So if you feel like you cannot nair him before this fair comes out, just dash dance here and either laser to whiff punish his landing, or you can try to attack. But if Marth does fair into dash away, it's pretty much impossible to whiff punish. So generally you're going to be waiting out here and lasering, and like maybe he shields or dashes back, and then you have laser control again. So that's
Well,
kind of how you want to think of it.
So if Marth bears and you dash away and then you dash back and jump and laser, could you like laser into shield with set up like shield pressure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly the idea you would be going for, is like lasering into this spot. He could do like fair into up tilt to counter that. So like there's mix-ups on mix-ups in here, like a lot of complexity, but a general idea is absolutely to laser onto him, where like if he shields, you're laser shining his shield, maybe shine grab, and if he retreats, then you landed here, but he retreated here, but you have the laser control, and he's in the corner.
Right. That makes sense.
And then, so like I said, the fair into up tilt would be the way to counter that, and like that means like if you're just dash dancing here, you can bait out that up tilt. So like there's a way to handle each situation. You just have to be predicting it, and you kind of want to like, so you just want to be weighing the risks of each one. So like if you just dash dance here, like it's pretty safe, because the only way Marth counters a dash dance is to do like a YOLO dash attack out of the corner, right?
Yeah.
And like that dash attack would lose to basically everything else you do.
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to think about like which options are countering which, and like if you notice them doing an option over and over that you're not punishing, like either it's hard to do in game to just stop and think, but if you watch back your VODs, which is like the fastest way to improve, watch back your VODs, see what option they're doing that you're not covering ever, and come up with a solution. And then next time you see someone doing that option, you can try it out.
Okay.
So once again, he's getting him on the side plat, right? Get him on the side plat, do the back air to prevent him coming off, and then he even notices he didn't drop down, so he doesn't up tilt to cover the back air.
Right.
Oh, it was a good slide off by Zane. Yeah, and this is like the flaw with getting above Marth. So Mango likes the short hop off a lot. I think it can definitely be good. Personally, I find it a little too risky. I don't know if Mango does it for any particular reason. Like, I'd rather do the back air on the ground. But Mango is obviously really good, so he probably has other reasons for doing it. Maybe to cover like a full hop. But just keep in mind that it is risky to be above Marth.
Yeah, okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
So he lost that game, but
those are good games.
You could like see, even when he was doing bad things in the corner, you could see the general idea was still to corner him. And that's why that's a hard matchup. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's difficult to play Falco Marth, because if you make one mistake in the corner, then you're just going to get thrown off and gimped.
Yep.
Okay. And then we can do a few things in direct. I'll post my code.
Cool. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks. Back.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. I'll switch to.
I'm searching. Oh, what region are you from, by the way?
I'm in New York.
Okay, so we should have a great connection.
Sweet. Not getting any sound. Probably because of Discord weirdness. Oh, whatever.
Okay, so well, the one thing you wanted to mention, or you wanted to talk about, was with punishing this with jump shine, right? The jump shine waveland.
Oh yeah.
So let me see what you're trying to do right now. Okay, so you should be full hopping it. That'll be the first thing I say.
I like that.
The other thing is, like, you kind of want to time your shine like right here.
Okay.
So you could try that. So this is important for like all tech skill. You want to break it down into pieces. So don't even worry about the waveland right now. Just practice the shine timing. Yep, just do double jump. So you want to be doing full hop, double jump, or full hop, shine halfway through the plat, and then double jump.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after you practice that for a bit, I mean, it looks like you're already getting it. So you do that, and then the other thing would be, so do you use both triggers?
I just use R.
Okay. Do you L cancel with R as well?
Oh, no, I use L for that actually.
For L cancel. Okay, so one thing I was going to say is I use the triggers for different things. So like for ledge dashing and wave landing, I use R, and for wave dashing, I use L. If that helps, it might be something to consider, like using a different button, just because it would be a different timing. So you're going to do the shine, and then as soon as you do the jump, you're going to hit the trigger, because it's going to feel different than a wave dash, because when you do a wave dash, you're in 4 frames of jump squat. So like this animation,
Yeah.
well, Marth is in 4 frames, Falco's in 5. So normally, what your hand is used to is 5 frames of jump squat and then pressing R, right? That's like the timing you're used to. But if you do that after the double jump doesn't have jump squat. So like as soon as you double jump, you're rising really fast. So that's why you have to press R sooner. So you can either press R sooner or use L, whatever is more comfortable. You can even, I don't know if this will be more hard, but you can jump and hold the shine, and then that'll give you more time to like think about the double jump. Like maybe don't try to double jump directly or immediately out of the shine. You can't wait too long though, because
Oh, that was good.
yeah. So at least that's like the idea. And you can also waveland really quickly out of a double jump compared to a full hop. So if you just full hop, just do a full hop with Falco. So you can see like his body's like in a normal shape, right? And then do a double jump. So when he's spinning like this, he's curled up into a ball. So it actually makes it way easier to land on the platform. So you see how like you're above the platform here?
Yeah.
Well, I can do it with Marth actually. So you see how I'm not even all the way through the platform, but I can still, well, Marth is different because he just like lands. Let me do Falco. So because you curl up into a ball, you can actually like waveland here, and you see I landed, even though I'm like barely above. Whereas if you full hop and you're like only part of the way through, you're not gonna get the waveland.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little higher up if your character's straight up, but if you're doing the double jump, you can waveland way sooner than you probably expect. And that's also how you can do like horizontal wavelands. So you can waveland straight horizontal and go really far when you're double jumping. Okay, so that's one thing you can practice on your own.
Cool.
And then we'll just go through some of the Marth stuff. So I guess you can do like the laser control, try and get laser control on me, and then I'll do the wave dash all fair. Nice, that was perfect. That was also good. You stuffed me with you did laser and a dash attack to stuff me jumping. That's another option. Oops, sorry. And, one thing to keep in mind, so when you go for Marth combos, like let's say you shine me and I DI away. So if I do that, you don't want to jump out here and like attack this space unless you can get the combo, because what happens to a lot of Falcos is they'll go for combos they can't actually get, and they end up above Marth. That's like the worst case scenario. So you always want to make sure. I mean, it's hard because like you're still learning to do the combos, so you do want to like push your limits and like really see like what combos you can get. But if you know for sure that you can't get it, then don't risk it. Just like stay on the ground, and it'll feel weird because like you'll shine them, like maybe you jump shine a Marth right here, like go ahead and jump shine me. You're not going to follow up on that, but a lot of Falcos they'll like wave land onto this and then like attack up in the air, and Marth will just be like, okay, I'm fine with that, and then you get up air on the way down. So definitely watch for that. Okay, so did you see what happened for that one?
Yeah.
So you did the laser, I shielded and did this. Oops, I did the run off fair, and you lasered into this space. So that's like the one thing you don't want to do into this space is laser, because that's not going to stop me from doing this fair. Sorry. I'm so used to power shielding, it feels weird to intentionally not power shield. I don't want to just spam lasers back at you. Oh, good, you forced me off. Perfect. I'll just kind of like play defense. Nice, you pushed me all the way to the corner. Do you have a game plan from when Marth is on the ledge?
Don't go too close because I'll die.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. Yeah, I mean, you could, so like spacing with lasers, just shooting lasers right outside of ledge hop fair range, because this is the range you need to worry about, right? So always try to visualize your opponent's attack range, especially with relative to their invol. So you can do that. Oops. The other thing we could practice is like lasering me out of the air. So shoot one laser and then shoot another. Oops, sorry. Boom. And then practice hitting me out of that.
Nice.
Nice, that works. So that time you just whiff punished me. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's why I think when you're at this range where like you're already within fair range, I think you should just commit to like doing the nair or jump shine. You can do like dash jump shine too. Yeah, it'll take some practice because you have to start the dash jump as soon as you land. You really can't waste any frames. I'm also doing it like really quickly.
Oh yeah, that was good. All right, so if I do it like, oh yeah, that's like, there's no way I can shine you when you do that.
There is. So one thing you're doing is your laser timing. You're shooting the laser really high up. So remember how we talked about how the hit stun, you want to like maximize your active time? Yeah. So the same holds true for lasers. Let me just switch to Falco so I can demonstrate.
Do I need to shine? Do I need to laser lower?
Yeah. So that
like right before
you don't need to laser lower necessarily. You just need to laser. You need to land as your laser is coming out.
Okay.
So, which sounds like it's the same thing, but it's actually not.
So I can get a high laser.
You can do a high laser and have it come out as you land.
Okay. And then I'd have time for the jump shine essentially. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So like you can do this. So I mean the really high one, it's like hard. Like it's already been out for a couple frames when I landed.
Like that?
I mean, I wouldn't worry about like the height so much, as long as it's mid-height. But yeah, you want to be landing as it comes out, so you can see like, see how like short it is.
Yeah.
You want a really short laser. So boom, that was perfect.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And then that way, like, well, see how like it hasn't even hit me. That means you're for each frame. How to say it. So because you landed as soon as possible after your laser came out, that means you're going to be able to dash jump sooner than if you had like shot the same laser but like landed later.
Right.
So you like want to chase your laser really quickly. Is the idea. So like, just like, it's hard to describe, but if you practice it on a CPU, you'll get the idea. I'm not sure I can do anything with Falco. Do you want to switch to Marth and you can try?
Sure.
So just so you can see it from the Marth's perspective.
Yeah.
It is important to keep in mind I'm doing like pretty precise take laser fair. Like I'm pretty good at the take laser timing. So most Marths won't take the laser and then fair like the first possible frame.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, if you ever feel like you can't beat their fair timing, just dash away like you did the other time. So I'm doing the same thing you're doing, where when you're trying to hit him, like you just naturally want to shoot a high one. Oops, that was my controller. There you go. So,
oh, nice. Oh, nice, yeah.
Oops. It feels weird because like we're testing it, but when you're in game, it'll feel more natural. Where like maybe you'll do like an approaching laser.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of Marths just default to like fair as soon as they take laser.
Yeah. So the other option would be like, oops, sorry.
Oops.
Yeah, it's hard because like, okay, just short hop continuously. Yeah. Fuck. So there's that. I actually didn't even want to do it that time. I forgot. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm trying to show you the weight one. So the other option would be like if you get the fair.
Right.
That would be a godlike mix-up. So you would do that. You would do dash chance stare. Or you could do the dash chance laser. Another thing you can practice is just doing the rapid fire lasers. Being able to shoot really quickly. And you can shoot low lasers to make it hard for Marth to power shield. So these down here can be harder to power shield if you run into a Marth that does do it. But keep in mind they'll be able to jump over it easier.
Right.
I mean, I think we covered a lot. Did you have any questions about anything we went over?
I think I'm good. I feel like I've got a lot to think about and work on, and now I just gotta...
Yeah, I mean, I can try and like create a short list of homework from everything we went over, and I'll send that over. And if you have any questions at all, just send them my way on Discord. I try to respond as quickly as I can, including like tech skill stuff. I know learning the tech skill. I actually want to start making YouTube videos to help players that are your level, and they're trying to learn, and there's not a lot of resources for people your level, I feel like. Or I mean, there are, but it's almost like the stuff that is out there is kind of overkill. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, the problem is that there's all these videos that are like for shit that just doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, you know, that too. There's a lot of that.
There's all sorts of there's all sorts of things you could do that are way easier than this thing that this video is dedicated to. That like are way.
Yeah, like I think the stuff we went over. I mean, the fact that we can pull up a random Mango Zane game and like all the stuff comes up in the first doc. Like clearly that's the stuff that matters, right?
Yeah.
But there's also not really YouTube videos on that, so
yeah.
Hopefully that really helps. And one thing I recommend, if you are in a situation that like you don't know, you're not sure how to play the situation, and you're like watching your VOD back, just screenshot the situation and just send that over to me, and I can like break down your options in that scenario. That's what because I was getting coaching from Ginger, and that's what I would do with him. I would just send a scenario and be like, what do you think is good here? And like I've been playing long enough that I generally know, but some of them are like more high level concepts that we would talk about, and there's a lot of nuance. But since you're just starting out, it's going to be pretty black and white issues for most of the stuff, or like it'll be like really obvious. I think what I would recommend for you.
Okay.
So
I think most of the issues that I'm going to have are going to be like I stopped paying enough attention during the match and did something really stupid. But
yeah,
but I find that situation where I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? I thought I was playing this well.
So that's why I really recommend the repetition approach of like like you're not doing your shine grabs. It's going to be too hard to remember to shine grab if you're trying to win a game and then like also add new things. So you just have to sort of just accept you're going to lose. I mean, you might necessarily not lose, obviously. You could still win, but you just have to not care and just say, okay, I'm just going to practice shine grabs. If I get 5 shine grabs this game, that is a win. Yeah. And you actually have to just make that your mindset, because otherwise you won't want to do it, or you won't want to experiment with new things. Yeah. And that's just like the fastest way to learn. That's how Zane got good so quickly, is he just... because I've talked to him about it, and he would just say, oh, I just spam dash dance, and I would just learn to dash dance grab people in every situation possible. And then he would move on to the next thing, like take laser fair. Oh, I realized I could take laser fair versus Falco, and I just, every time a Falco lasered me, I'd jump into it, take laser fair. And sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, but he would like learn very quickly when it does work and when it doesn't.
Right.
So don't underestimate that.
I'm going to do that with shine grab.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to talking again, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably follow up once I feel like I've like made some progress and
cool.
want to like.
Yeah, if you do decide